Alright, so I made a little presentation here for the concept for the Minecraft server, and it's probably going to be pretty long, so buckle up. So there are four roles that are pretty important. There's the king, which is going to be one player. There's four nobles. There are knights that are unlimited players. Basically, the serf can buy out a knighthood, and then the serf is any player that does not fit into an above category. So the king can do whatever the hell he wants, is the head of the royal court, makes pretty much every decision granted with the royal court, just has the most power in the royal court, oversees construction and such, dies every 3 weeks, and appoints the duke as a new king. So I'll get to the duke later. If the duke refuses, the king goes down the line of nobles until someone says yes. I'll go down the line of nobles later. If no one says yes, the king lives another week and asks all those people again in order. So noble owns a large plot of land to govern over, has a seat on the royal court, granted just not as much power as the king. The king basically makes every decision, and the noble is there to experience it. There are four tiers of nobles, and from highest to lowest they are duke, marquis, earl, and baron. In that order is how much power how much power they have and what line they are in to become king. Tiers can be changed and decided by a king at any time. The duke is next in line to be a king, and then it goes down the line after however many weeks the king stays alive. And then once a noble becomes a king, they can appoint a knight to rule over their old land, because technically they don't own their own land only anymore. They own the entire kingdom. And so that old land needs a noble, and so a knight is going to do it. If no knights agree to it, they can appoint a trusted serf to it. And if no serf says yes, that sucks because they're a serf and have no power, so the noble can just say, yeah, you're doing this, sucks to suck. So knight can perform heroic tasks or duties for king and country, nobles too, and can get rewarded treasure or whatever the hell they want to give them. Can hire a squire sidekick, it must be a serf, owns a small plot of land, can be appointed to a noble by the new king, has no seat on the royal court, however, even though they have more power than serfs, technically, holds construction responsibilities like gathering and adventuring. Serfs, there are two tiers. Squire, which is a knight sidekick and must be appointed by a knight. Each knight can only have one squire. And normal serf. Squires live with their knights on the knight's land. The normal serfs live on public land, which are either the capital or the noble's land, like their resident noble. Their property must be built by them and can be repossessed by the king at any time. They hold construction responsibilities as well, but it's more like blue-collar stuff like building and farming. Serfs can buy knighthood, however, for 128 diamonds. Isn't that a fantastic deal? If a squire's knight is promoted to noble, the squire can buy knighthood for only 64 diamonds and possess the knight's old land. Otherwise, the land is repossessed by the king as public land. The squire still lives on it. It's just public land now, and they're a normal serf, and the king can build whatever they want on that land or destroy the knight's old house or whatever, and they pay taxes to the king, whereas knights don't. So basically it looks like this. You got king at the top, you got the four nobles below the king with still more power than knights or serfs, but the king has more power than any of them. The knights have more power than squires or serfs, but the nobles still rule over both equally. The knights rule over a specific squire, but squires have the same level of power as serfs, and serfs don't have anyone ruling over them aside from directly the nobles. So what are construction responsibilities? Because I've mentioned them earlier, and it's just kind of like, what are they? So, easy clap, the responsibility to construct. Someone's got to build a capital. All normal houses will have a villager spawned in them as long as they fit a building code that can be changed at any time by the king. So basically, depending on the king, the capital and whatever can look as awful or as great as possible. Otherwise, villagers won't be allowed to use if they're found naturally. Just the ones spawned in. But they can be spawned in and they'll be convenient, which is great. It's just you got to build houses for them, so I have an actual city. So for knights, that means gather materials and adventure for resources. For serfs, this means construct buildings with gathered materials. And for squires, this means both assist knights and construct buildings. So it kind of sucks for squires. So why the hell would you ever want to become a squire if it means work? It's fun. It's cool. Although you have more responsibility without more power, you have more opportunity and guaranteed housing. You can suggest things more closely to a knight who has power, and you can earn favor with a future noble or king by choosing a knight who eventually becomes a king. So that's cool. Maybe become a noble yourself or king, who knows. And in conclusion, more responsibility equals more opportunity for a serf if they become a squire. Why not just go off and do my own thing? Come on, man. Just, please, go along with the thing. Also possible ban. And we ain't fooling around this time. Griefing and that shit ain't gonna be tolerated this time around. You getting straight banned, fool. Wait, but how does the game start though? So basically the first 2 weeks are used to build the city, and whoever scores the most suck-up points with the king gets to be a noble. 4 people. Otherwise, serfs gotta buy their way to knighthood and do the whole inheritance thing. Why stay a serf? Why not just strip mine? We on 1.18. There ain't no strip mining anymore. Also, it's good for RP purposes. Just make your call. Knights have to be knightly. If you don't want to do that, then don't. Knights can't have any other job than be knight. So if you want to do another job, then be a serf. Do we have to do the construction stuff? I don't want to be a servant the whole time. Yeah, sucks to suck. But you can have another job like merchant or sailor or something. Maybe a knight can be a captain of a boat fleet or something. Being a sailor under him wouldn't make you a squire per se. That would just be his first mate would be. So is there anything else? Yeah, when the king dies, he starts over as a serf with a new character to play. Sucks to suck. Have fun. And that's it. Enjoy. And yeah. That's all. Cool.